Gemini, hello and welcome to your weekly reading for October 13th through the 20th. Let's be sure that this week we come from the heart. So we have Mercury, your ruling planet, in your fifth house. So there is the capacity to create a lot of good stuff. There's like this rich, fertile moment in your life where it feels like, Jupiter is retrograde, but I feel like we can kind of pick up what pieces were really good for us. So like, if it was an idea, like a brainchild, a direction that you were too busy at the time, but something came up and you kind of overlooked it, but you were like, okay, let me get back to that. And Mercury moving through your fifth house is like, now is the time. So be sure to be deliberate this week about your creative time and the energy that you give to prayer. Maybe you have like a Bible that you like to read, or you have some spiritual text that's like, you got to start taking notes. You got to really cherish something. And I would say also, because there's a full moon, it would be a great time to take items that are on your altar and charge them under the full moon, so that you have that much more clarity around what it is, how you're received in your career and your legacy, what you're letting go of in creative projects. So maybe like you're so used to not getting paid or something like that, and now is the time where you can actually start to plan a budget and share that as an invoice with your clients, and your clients will pay it right away because they know how creative you are. Also with your Jupiter return, for a lot of my Geminis going through this Jupiter return, we have things that have so much capacity to grow under proper use of energy, so that it's perfection, according to Sandra Walter. So far we have the Hermit from the angels, Archangel Raziel. So because of this full moon, we want to take the time to be in meditation as well. I know a lot of people like to go out. I'm a hermit naturally, so I don't really go out. But for those of you Geminis who are up to the challenge, take some time to meditate on an outcome that would be a signifier for you that you're on the right path. 9 of Fire. So you do have to be sure that you're willing to take the time and allocate it to your own self, your own creative projects. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. There are lots of people who, maybe you could imagine like they have too much of a burden and you want to help them out, which is beautiful, but that's not how life works. You have to focus on what you can create. People need to know what to put down for themselves, and then what they actually are able to. I'm speaking from experience firsthand. When I don't have a budget for something, I don't move on it. But when people want your help and they, can call in favors, exposure, all that, it's not for the times. The times are calling for you to be celebrated, to be seen, to have people shower you with rose petals, and to really honor what it is that you have to contribute. I was wondering why my screen was so dark. Maybe this is something that could be fixed after the recording, but it's one of those things to where it's like, we may not even notice how we've dimmed our shine to accommodate other people, when really that's never real. It's never really accommodating people if you're compromising your own time and energy that you need for yourself. However, if you are on a team and you feel like you have too much work, now's a good time to meditate and see what is the proper amount of work for you to do, because you might want to take one for the team. You might want to slam dunk it, drive it home, leave the crowd roaring, but really you need to take time and really get deliberate about yourself, Gemini, this week. 3 of Earth and 10 of Earth came through. So you might go from the 3 of Earth, sharing resource, to just like you feeling super abundant, which is important because we have a lot of fire energy speaking to this full moon in Aries. I do want to read the talisman card, this 31. And let's see where Mercury moves before I read the talisman. Okay, Mercury will start out at 29 degrees and 2 seconds in Libra. And at the end of the week, Mercury will be at 10 degrees Scorpio. So Gemini, that for you is your sixth house of daily life. We will have Venus in your 7th house. So, good news is there will be a Venus-Jupiter opposition coming through, which feels like our values will expand our horizons. So if we're valuing ourselves, we'll have new horizons. We might have new clients. We might have new opportunities that really give 100% of us, rather than trying to, be someone's supporter, be someone's fan who will do anything for them, when really it's like you have to really prioritize your gifts, because you've been given gifts, Gemini, especially with Jupiter return. So these are very profitable gifts that you will see return on in the coming years, coming months, coming weeks, maybe even this week. You'll see some things start to go from feeling like, oh cool, like I joined in with my buddies, like we're all having fun, which is beautiful, to like, oh wow, now I can actually go back to school, or make that project happen that I've been dreaming of. My heart has been craving this this outcome, this ideal state of my creative expression. So talisman, it represents new doors opening for you now. Oh, that's why there's a key. I've been reading this another way. New pathways are present at this time. It also invites you to find or create and charge an appropriate symbol, amulet, or mantra to help support your current endeavors or healing. Empower this talisman with your intention to evoke its magic in your everyday life. Meditate with maybe your object or your mantra or your prayer to act as a powerful road opener to a new adventure or opportunities, or to discover hidden talismans of power, love, and peace. So this is speaking to Goddess Hecate, and it can free us from our self-imposed cages and move us into the next part of the journey by opening new doors of opportunity. And again, if this is with the team, because Gemini, just like Libra, we all like a buddy. We all like to have someone who is our mirror, but we also need to be the mirror to ourselves, and to make sure that we are living up to what has been given to us as a gift in this lifetime. Excuse me. So Chiron also, 11, in your social house, it is healing some relationships. So maybe a tendency to overgive of your time, your resources, and an ability to say, I do need some time by myself. I need to refresh my mind and to be celebrated for who I am. We have Magdalene's Portal Gateway. So exciting fact, in your second house, on the full moon, we will have Mars at 22 degrees Cancer. And the sun will hit 22 degrees this week too. So they're in a square all week, but the square kind of grows and it's within a 2-degree orb, the sun and Mars. So how we see our potential, how we see what we have created, how we see what we are creating is going to get a level up of how we believe it's attainable, how we feel what we can put into the world can be attained, how it can be received, and how much it can be appreciated and celebrated. So a lot of this will be playing with that, I almost said foreplay, but we're doing forward play. We're playing forward. We're praying it forward. We are imagining what we wish for and allowing for God to make it happen as it's meant to happen. And for those of you guys who are interested in scripture, Mary Magdalene has gospels that are really beautiful and interesting to read. And I need to pull a card from this deck. Let's see, the tear is at the bottom, so that is absolutely pertinent. I'm going to read Magdalene's Portal because there's a sacred text that I feel will come up if it's meant to. Okay, so this is for this hermit energy, and also on the day of the full moon. Lift yourself and raise your vibration higher, Gemini, so your consciousness can expand into the portal. There are new things to explore and experience that will change your life. You stand before a gateway. Hello, Gemini. You may enter if you choose to take that first step. So it says to play with sensory deprivation and to maybe go to a cave if you can. I'll read the card, whatever. A system of caves in St. Bambii is one of the oldest sacred sites in the Western world. The limestone caverns are part of the most extensive subterranean cave system in the world, extending hundreds of miles into the inner earth. The ancient Greeks, Romans, Ligurians, and others believed it was inhabited by the goddess of fertility. It is said that Mary Magdalene, so this would be like creation myths, Haumea, how she created like all of the Hawaiian people and maybe every single individual. Like the fertility goddess is the one who is said to give birth to everybody. All of the traditions have their own creation myth. It's said that Mary Magdalene traveled to and lived out her life at St. Balm. The Cave of the Eggs is a pilgrimage site still used for ceremony and teaching the divine feminine mysteries, just as Mary Magdalene taught her disciples around 47 Central Era. Common Era. Tribes of different beings lived within the portal at St. Balm. Most have a frequency that is higher than terrestrial humans. The entry points to beautiful cities like Shambhala and Telos are guarded by gates. You need the correct energy signature to pass through them to the portals. Avatars have long been known to live in caves to access other worlds. There is a local legend of Mary Magdalene ascending to the summit of St. Balm, carried by angels each morning. It wouldn't be the first time high-dimensional beings were interpreted as angels. In caves, sensory deprivation can cancel out distraction and cause your higher mind to come to the fore. If you can't sit in a cave, you might sequester yourself in a dark room. If you see a cloud of blue light, focus on it until an image appears. This is spirit essence radiating from God. It is so high in vibration that it does not form atoms and molecules of matter. So like the burning bush. Read about Moses and the burning bush this week if you want to read scripture. Okay, and then the tear. $169. The morning, the release, the rain. When light, melody, melancholy flowing through. When dark, drowning, drama, murkiness. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what's needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Do you see this? Maybe the way through is to cry and to let yourself feel all these feelings that might have to come up around your monetary goods, what you have to work with, material goods. Are you a vendor? Are you a entrepreneur? Do you work with a laptop and something happens that you're like, oh my gosh, if you cry, this is the way through. It's the way through to being celebrated, to not having so much of a burden, to going from feeling like, okay, let's get this party started, to like, oh my gosh, look at this plethora of abundance I'm living in. And this does speak to being a team player, but again, we don't want to fall into that shadow of being the team player that's carrying everything for everyone. We want to be celebrated for being a team player who honors our needs and our emotions. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It's likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmer of clarity to our eyes. I love this energy this week because, it's something that you could skip over. Like I literally almost skipped over that card. Ooh, let's see what else came through. I won't cheat y'all. I'm going to get some more. You have the mystic and the self. So you guys are starting to see yourself in a new light and in a transformed light. What was once a burden is now becoming a bolster. It's becoming something that you can lean on, something that helps you to relax, to enjoy your life and enjoy more of yourself. And of course, the hermit and the mystic are out together. So if you guys have some journeys to other realms, write about it. We want to know. We want to know, Gemini. We need to stay up on this. You need to be enlightening the world as you guys have this Jupiter return. And maybe you are starting to put together some things about how you've had these journeys and you thought they were normal. You thought everyone must have this, but it turns out few and far between. And the rest of the world needs to know about your experiences. So for my Geminis, I advise we look at the 6th and 12th house. If you want to dive deeper into this energy, go on ahead and watch the ruling astrological sign for those houses from my channel, from another reader. Check out your chart on astro.com. Look at it under Placidus, equal, Coke, As well, Coke is like the assignment for this life. The houses that are really small need our time, love, hermiting, meditation, attention, and intention. To my subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here. Go on ahead, give this video a like button if it helped you out. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're dealing with this energy. And until next time, Gemini, aloha.